Hello, Russell and company. So grateful for you all. We've got a proposal for you, which is more a suggestion, an idea. Take it how you will, but it's our strategy. It's working for us, and we invite you to in a very open source way, just take it, make it your own, build upon it, hack it into pieces, take whatever pieces you want, recycle the rest, whatever you want to do. And we're also here to work with you on it. But the idea is basically, I'll just encompass it in two words: EarthShot. Right? It kind of says it all. I could go on and on and on about, everything from regenerative agriculture to holistic transformation, the buzzwords, so I won't waste your time. The EarthShot. And what's working really well for us is conversation, right? And not just one conversation, but a whole network of conversations. And, if you want to dig more into what we're doing and what we're talking about, a really great example is Kindred Spirits. So check out kindredspirits.earth conference, which we organized and held both in person in Cork, Ireland, and over Zoom simultaneously. Anyway, kindredspirits.earth, just to get an example. So now, how do you taking that to the next level? The EarthShot, which is not a term we've used, we offer it to you, and because it's really fitting here, you bring in just so many people. Everybody knows you and loves you. It's that simple. I don't need to butter your bread, right? But simple as that. And I'll just, with the unifying mission of saving, healing, and transforming life on Earth, right? With the unifying mission of, to paraphrase Charles Eisenstein, that more beautiful world our hearts know is possible, right? And so in the kind of conference you can organize, Russell, you can bring in so many people, right? People watching the live stream and then jumping in meaning what exactly? What I mean by jumping in is participating in the live simultaneous network of conversations, which spans both in person as well as Zoom, and in person in various locations throughout the world. And
Kevin, can I just say there, you froze there for a few seconds, so you were just quoting Charles Eisenstein there, and then you froze, so we missed the section
okay,
about you.
I'll rewind. I was paraphrasing Charles Eisenstein as a way of articulating the mission. In addition to saving, healing, and transforming life on Earth, it can be stated poetically, paraphrasing Charles Eisenstein. Our mission is that more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. Full stop, right? That becomes the unifying mission, the guiding light. That, combined with you, Russell, and your personality and all your friends, deep friendships, not just network, but people that you've connected with deeply. You get us all laughing. The crow farts, we're all in tears, and it's just game over. So it's you and the mission combined become the true north, the guiding light. We all follow you. And you organize a network of conversations that is hyper connected. We use the acronym Dutch, the Dutch universe, the decentralized universe of transformational conversations that are hyper connected. Now, where we've really been missing is the hyperconnectivity, right? There's a universe of conversations out there. Everyone's in conversation about what's going on, right? But we're totally disconnected. So how do we get connected? You call a conference. Simple as that, right? Listen, everyone's giving you great feedback in chat, comments, this and that. It's beautiful. It's wonderful, right? But there's a much deeper level of connectivity that we can achieve, right? Having your paid service and all that's great. That also provides connectivity. Wonderful. We're all connected to you. It's great, but we're not all talking with each other. So let's create this virtual conference. When I was at Microsoft, I was corporate strategy manager at Microsoft. And every year we'd go down to Atlanta, Georgia, and have this big 3-day conference. And it was a big party. And we'd party at night and hang out and have fun. And in the daytime, day one, general session. The next 2 days, breakout rooms. There was like hundreds of breakout rooms at this giant conference center. And so basically, we locked ourselves in for 3 days and we wouldn't leave until we had it all sorted out. Well, what's there to sort out here? The EarthShot. How do we save, heal, and transform life on Earth? How do we do it? Now, how do we organize the breakout rooms? Again, with Microsoft, we had it all mapped out. And here we'd map it out according to, logical taxonomies of topics. Imagine whole taxonomies for, the big six. I'll go ahead and screen share here with everyone's blessing. Everybody cool with that? Okay. Now listen, jump in anytime, you guys. Sorry, I didn't mention that earlier, but it goes without saying around here. Jump in. So what are the big six? And in no particular order, but we might as well number them. We have pandemics, nuclear war, global warming, food and water shortages, destruction of the biosphere, and collapse. Collapse has many different facets, financial, economic, political, collapse. These are the big six. For each of these big six, right? For any one of the big six, there's a natural taxonomy that flows from the following initial bifurcation. You've got the problem and you've got the solution. Many different facets to the problem, many different solutions, many different parts or facets to a given solution, which map directly and indirectly, not only to, the problem itself, to that problem, but to, this neighboring problem over here. And its initial bifurcation. I should write these as kind of solid lines here. This initial major bifurcation, problem, solution. There's connectivity, this kind of hybrid connectivity. And I'm going into too much detail, right? Anyway, but it's kind of important though, right? Which is this, and these taxonomies can go on, and they logically should, down to whatever point is optimal, and that's beyond the scope of this conversation. But there will be all these great rich connections across the board, all the way around, the merry-go-round of the big six. All right. Each one with its own taxonomy, right? And all hyper-connected to each other. That's it. So imagine this massive conference, and can you imagine what tens of thousands of us can do over the course of 3 days together? It's unheard of, never been done before, never been tried before. Yeah, we've had great conferences, but nothing of this scale, this magnitude, and this level of interaction, right? Usually it's the grand speaker. Oh, I'm some important dude with 10 PhDs and I wrote 100 books and 7,000 patents to my name and and now I'm going to tell you about, and in the end, oh, please sign up for my paid service. Come on, enough. It's time for us to get together and talk and hash this out. Speaking of which, I'm gonna pass the talking feather. What do y'all think? Please add, subtract, criticize, whatever you need to do.
I really believe, this is Michael from Motor City, Michigan. I really believe that you are a great leader, Russell. You're a great communicator, and we are all in our own ways the same. And we should combine forces, and great things can happen. But we don't have a lot of time to waste, as you well know. So let's roll up our sleeves. Let's get together and have a wonderful time, and we're going to solve some problems. Thank you.
Well, I'll second that one anyway, Michael. It's time to roll up our sleeves. It's time to, sit up and wake up and grow up as well. You know what I mean? Grow up as a species and really sit down and face these 6 existential threats. And they're just 6 that we're naming. Really, there are others, I suppose, out there. You know what I mean? But let's face it, a lot of these existential threats, especially the idea of war and everything else and hunger, are man-made at the end of the day. So they're the ones that we need to really, focus in on. And blah blah. I can go on again, like, so. At the end of the day, it is what it says on the can. We're all in this together. Collectively, we've got some big problems facing to face, and we got to be, grown-ups about it and stand up and start facing them very quickly, or we're going to be all out of time. So collectively, we can only do that, and it's not been organised by our leaders, so to speak. So we got to organise ourselves, and I'm not talking about any kind of, action or even like the likes of Extinction Rebellion and their actions and everything else in relation to global warming and everything else. I have no opinion on that other than the sense that what I'm talking about is sitting down and talking and facing up to our problems, the reasons behind those problems, and what solutions, if any, that could be, come up about or brought up about them, or come up with solutions to tackle these problems. So we're not going to do it unless we're actually collectively together. And yes, we're walking the talk here in the Block Party. We do our own thing, and we're after getting a lot of things under our belt. And it's a great thing. And there's other groups out there, and they're doing great things and doing great work. And we're involved in food healers, and we've food programs where we feed everybody for free. And we've got that one, another thing going, another projects going in Los Angeles and what have you. So in Texas now and everything. So this is just ordinary people. Just like the ordinary people who've got 5.9 million viewers that you have, they're ordinary people around the world who are listening to what you have to say because they're like-minded, and like ourselves, like-minded. Here we are having putting this effort into just in response to one of your videos, because we're like-minded people, and we're also like-minded. We're trying to search for solutions to try and deal with our actual problems, face up to the realities of our problems, and ask the questions why are we facing those realities, and what can we do about them. You're trying to do that and get that message and put that message and put those thoughts into people's heads with your videos, and you do it very well. And have to be commended for it, like. And you do it well. You put those thoughts into people's heads. You make them ask the questions. Those out there that are not asking the questions are definitely sitting up and thinking and paying attention. And I share your videos with as many people as I can, especially who I would consider sheeple. You know what I mean? Who are not really in the know as to what's going on and need to be put in the know so that they can start asking questions themselves. Not only ask questions then, but also contribute. Because we all know that it doesn't matter where it can come from. It can come from the strangest of quarters and from the smallest or most, humble person. Somebody might out there has, and collectively, all of us together have the answers to our existential problems, or for the best. For the ones that we create ourselves anyway, let's face it that way. Some of them we just have to try and face going forward together. And again, I stress together, because at the end of the day, if we don't do anything together, we'll only do one thing together at the end of the day. If we don't come together to work together, we're going down together. It's as simple as that. I'll leave it at that. Passing the feather.
Beautiful, James. Thank you so much. And I just want to emphasize, we're here to help. We've done a number of these conferences, but we're not here to sell ourselves to you. We're here to sell an idea to you, which we gift to you, not sell, but gift to you for free. It's yours. Take it, do whatever you want with it, mash it up, modify it. This is open source. Just take the ball and run with it. If you want our help, we come with the idea if you want us to, or if you just want to take the idea and run with it, either way is fine. We're here to volunteer. We don't want any money. We're here to help. Simple as that. If you need us, or to the extent you need us. And but the main focus is the idea, the EarthShot. Simple as that. Take the EarthShot. You can lead it literally like nobody else. We've done it with the press conference, check out thepressconference.org. We've done it with Kindred Spirits. Check out kindredspirits.earth. With the help of Catalyst Trove, led by Vincent Arena, amazing stuff, systems wise, etc. Anyway, a lot of layers to this. I won't go through an exhaustive thing. All that is to say is we've been at this for a while. You know, the block party every Friday, Saturday for 24 hours. Check out radish.org for more on that. You know, the conversation generally is, and it's been 24/7 now. We're giving ourselves some breaks, but it's the conversation.cc. It's all hyper connected. It's all one thing, and we offer it all to you for free. Just take it, copy, paste, whatever you need. Again, we're here to help, etc. And you know, with what we were talking about, I'm going to screen share again. Well, let me just pause and check what. So just wanted to share a little bit more about the collective intelligence aspect and the specifics about the vision that we have. I had shown this image of the taxonomy here. There we go. And I think that was a little bit fast and furious. So I'm going to break it down a little better. We start with the big six. These are the big six. And for each of these big six, any questions about these? All right, pandemics, nuclear war, global warming, food and water shortages. Looking at it from a human perspective, there's also plenty of food shortages for animals and wildlife. Destruction of the biosphere. So all these are interconnected, right? And collapse, financial, economic, political, cultural, social, you know, et cetera, right? Collapse of infrastructure. Need I go on? Okay, so now imagine that here, I'm just going to start with a whole new drawing. So imagine, I'm just kind of visual, and I like to come up with creative geometrical stuff. So imagine that each of these six is represented by their Roman numerals, and for each, let's just take number one, whichever that one is, pandemics or global warming. There's a whole aspect of the problem, understanding, you know, the roots of the problem and understanding this and that, and there's many facets to the problem. So each of these lines represents a different topic. You know, the roots is, but well, there's probably several roots. Okay, so break them out, right? So there's going to be, you know, this whole taxonomy of, these are all topics. Okay. And where I'm going with this is each of these nodes, right, whether they're terminal or they're in the process of sprouting new little, you know, flowers on the broccoli, right? And they're always going to be growing, because we're going to go deeper and deeper and deeper until we've really mastered the problem. And likewise, we're going to master, when I say the solution, I don't mean singular. I mean, the S stands for really solution space. Right, and in itself is a growing head of broccoli, right? That just goes on and on different possible solutions, different categories of solutions, all these issues associated with solutions. Excuse me. And one problem's solution is another problem's problem, right? You know, big one number two has its own problem space and its own solution space, its own taxonomy, right? And so just for simplicity, I'm gonna, you know, just kind of sketch, you know, problem, solution. Imagine like this is a big, just sort of carousel, right? And each one has its own taxonomy. Simple as that, right? Great. And they're all hyper connected. What are these hyper connections? Number one, articulating, hey man, you know, your solution is my problem, right? So for example, if your solution is, and you know, forget about which one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just going to use just a random example. If your solution is, you know, a geoengineering solution to solve the global warming problem, that's a problem for me because it means more technology, which ultimately creates the house of cards even higher, and then the collapse, right, which might be my problem. You're actually going to cause worse collapse. You might delay it, but you're going to make it worse. Let's bite the bullet and turn off all the engines. You see what I'm saying? Those are the kind of conversations that are going to emerge in the spaces in between. Fair enough? Okay. Now, we're talking about large taxonomies for really big problems that are hyper-connected in really interesting ways. As I was saying back on the screen share, and I'm sorry for being loquacious, but this is darned important. You need to understand what the it is that we're trying to convey. And I trust you do. You're darn smart. Anyway, each one of these nodes, all across the universe of topics and conversations. Did he say conversations? I sang conversations. There will be conversations at each of these red nodes. Conversations. People talking with each other in either a Zoom room or a breakout room. Simple, right? Again, I point to the conferences we had at Microsoft, and they were like that. Lots and lots and lots of conversations, and then people going between conversations all day long. It was freaking paradise, right? So if the red things denote the conversations, let the green things, dots, represent people. So have all these people here congregating around this conversation, you might have 10 people in a room, you might have 20 people in another room, you might have 5 people in one room, but 500 people watching, because these will all broadcast, right? And the people are the pollinators. They go from, each one of these conversations is a flower that just sits there, right? Think of the little flowers at the head of the broccoli, and they constantly grow. And the next thing you know, there's twice the number of flowers. The head of broccoli has grown double in size, and then a week later, it's 10 times in size, whatever. So, but some of them, but once they've flowered, there they are. They just sit there like a flower, and then we, the people, are the ones who cross-pollinate the different flowers. We make the connections, we forge the connections, and we build the map of this universe of conversations. We use the acronym Dutch universe, right? Decentralized universe of transformational conversations, which are hyper-connected, right? And we've got another visual that kind of tells the story of just how powerful this is to have this growing broccoli, which, you know, we've done in theory and we've done in petri dishes with tiny little heads of broccoli. You can make the biggest head of broccoli, you know, like in Alaska, they have these giant contests so you can grow because they get sunlight all day long. So they just grow these massive, you know, heads of broccoli. Well, let me show you kind of a PowerPoint analogy to that, if I may. The evolution of radical collective intelligence is what we're talking about here. We're talking about bringing together a humanity, because it's just going to be a growing thing. When people hear that Russell Brand is doing this big ass EarthShot conference, you know, boom, that starting on a platform that is represented by this blue, you know, it could be the Catalyst Trove platform, it could be, you know, that combined with Airtable, combined with, you know, come on, we got platforms galore.com, take your pick, you know, add your favorite toppings. But the most important topping is beyond the platform is the people. That's supposed to be a brain. It looks more like something came out of the ass of your crow. But anyway, it's supposed to be a brain representing the actual collective intelligence which grows on top of the platform. It's initially this tiny head of broccoli. Anyway, think of it as a purple head of broccoli. That's another way to think about it. Well, anyway, as more and more people join, the collective intelligence doth grow. Well, wait a second. And it's going to grow so fast. It's going to be, you know, it's going to pull an Alice in Wonderland out of your second floor bedroom and poof, it's broken the windows. The platform can no longer support it. Well, long before we gets to that point, the collective intelligence co-creates, drum roll. Anyone want to take a guess? the next version of the platform. Lo and behold, which then supports a much greater collective intelligence, which can then create an even better platform, which can then support, as more and more people join, and they'll be joining exponentially all day long. Why not, right? Why? Look, you're going to throw the coolest party on Earth, and it's going to be called the EarthShot party. Why not as well make it a party, right, Michael? And I mean, what is otherwise? Oh no, everyone bring your slide rules. No, yeah, that's when the crow farted. No, crow fart. It's a party. So come and party with us. Who better to party with than Russell Brand? I'm going to pause. 2, 1. All right, Michael, you were gonna say something cool.
I think that I had forgotten what my comment was. I'm sorry, but somebody reminds me. Maybe stop.
Yeah, we're a little
I
fish.
forgot my thought.
Yeah, we're a little fish in a big pond,
Yes.
So we're not,
yes.
As Yoda said, judge me by my size, will you? Right?
Indeed.
But so we're a little fish in a big
Roll up
pond.
our sleeves.
But
We're ready and willing to help, and we love what you do. So let's work together. Thank you so much. And Jamin, take it away. Thank you.
absolutely. I'm just going to give kind of a super brief just visual run through. I'm not going to, this will be done in less than a minute. So set your clock if you want. But basically, Radical Collective Intelligence, radish.org. There's an example we'll put in the comments to this, which is about brainswarming. Check it out. It's a 4-minute video. It's super cool. And, we took the perspective of this big 6 mega problems. We could also take a whole world perspective and build a taxonomy around that. Any division is artificial, for example, between people and planet, or for that matter, between the big 6, but we can nonetheless, imagine this is really artwork, if you will. Here we can look at, if we build on the brainswarming, again, the 4-minute video, that's an example that they show, remove ice from power lines. We can do some really cool stuff connecting solutions with resources. This all comes out of conversation. So if you don't like my solution, say so, and we'll either change it or discard it, or I'll prove to you that it's awesome, and then you'll fall in love with it. Red lines are for problems, blue lines solutions. This is another way of looking at the hyperconnectivity of everything. And anyway, we have a conversational domain, so we talk about each of these. This is a crucial distinction, right? There are topics and there are conversations, and they go together, right? And if we talk and wait a second, nobody's talking about this asteroid's coming. Well, let's get a team around it and build out solutions, and then let's simulate them, considering all the holistic connections, look at the results, create an optimization layer for the simulator, come up with the optimal set of solutions, the optimal deployment plan, the optimal results, and then we blah, blah, blah. Is there anything worth saying? Well, yeah, let's face reality here. See, we're doing this kind of arms race. In this case, it's an intelligence race. I say intelligence, but what I really mean is the holistic, spiritual, yada, yada, heart, soul, because we're in a cosmic, but we're doing the race exponentially because we're in a cosmic game of chicken. I wrote about climate change. That was when that was the big one on the radar. Now we got the big 6. It's crazy. So, get ready for the game of chicken of our lives. Let's arm up with exponential collective intelligence. Let's get on this. Let's do it. You can do it like no one else. We love you. Anything else to say? Anyone before we sign? Thanks so much, everyone. And thanks for listening, Russell and company. Look forward to talking with you. Talk soon. Thanks. Bye.